Hey there, good people, it's the Crippled Critic, and this week I want to talk about the game HyperDot. Oh man, I'm excited to talk about this game. Back in early January, I heard on Twitter about this developer that was making a game with accessibility in mind, which is pretty cool. So I reached out to the publisher, Glitch, and they sent me a demo once they knew what I did. I'm focused on accessibility in games, but I wasn't able to talk about the demo until the game came out, and the game came out a few days ago, so I get to share with you my thoughts. HyperDot is an action arcade game with a simple concept. You're a dot, and you have to avoid everything that comes your way. HyperDot has over 100 levels you can unlock in campaign mode, and they're full of psychedelic visuals and really chill electronic music that I love. There's also a multiplayer mode where I believe you can play to up to 4 people locally and online. And there's a level editor mode where you can create your own level and make your own challenges. HyperDot was published by Glitch, developed by Tribe Games, but really it's Charles McGregor's baby. According to the website, Charles McGregor is the lead programmer, lead composer, and founder of Tribe Games, which is pretty impressive. Even more impressive is Charles' dedication to making his games accessible to a lot of different people, as evidenced by this section of the website called Play Without Compromise, and it talks about different features in the game, including the Xbox Adaptive Controller capabilities. I am always happy to see developers put forth effort into accessibility in their games, so let me go into some of these features. So HyperDot by its nature is a game that is trying to test your reflexes and how fast you move, but for disabled gamers with fine motor skill impairments, don't worry, because in my experience with the game, the levels are challenging enough to be fun, but not rage quit inducing. There's a lot of variety in each level, not just the visual look of each one, but also the challenges. Some levels will make your dot faster or slower. Some levels have you running away from enemies, and others have you collecting things. They're split into subgroups, and there's 5 levels in each row. The cool thing is, if you see a level with a challenge that you're not particularly great at, you can always go to another one. You're not forced to do levels in a certain order, which is helpful. Also, if you hover over a level, you can see certain descriptors that let you know what you're in for. So, if it says survivalist, you'll mostly be running away from enemies. If it says collecting, you'll be collecting items in that level. Like I said earlier, the game says it supports a bunch of different game controllers, including the Xbox Adaptive Controller. Also, there seems to be eye tracking support, which if you know my channel, you know that's pretty rare to see in video games. Gamers with visual impairments will have a lot of options to choose from in HyperDot. For colorblind players, every time you start the game up, you're given the option to change the color of your dot. In the accessibility menu, you can change the contrast levels. Also, there's a designated colorblind option you can change, and even I can tell that the screen changes colors noticeably. Sometimes in the background of levels, it can be a little distracting, so if you don't like that, you can turn that off. Lastly, gamers with hearing impairments can change individual sound levels in the options menu, one for the sound effects and one for the music levels. You can change the speaker type depending on what works for you, and you can even choose what genre of music is playing in the background. HyperDot doesn't have subtitles, but there's no dialogue, so really no need. It's very straightforward, and anything that's not conveyed through words or descriptors on screen are shown through icons or symbols that tell you what you need to know about the levels. So yeah, HyperDot is a really fun and relaxing game that has a lot of accessibility options. If you like these kind of arcade games and you also need some accessible content in your games to play them, I recommend HyperDot. I got to give it to Charles McGregor and the people over at Glitch because they proved that you can make a fun, simple game, but also make it accessible to a lot of different people. It seems like one of their main goals is to make games that are accessible, so I'm definitely going to be looking forward to other games they make. HyperDot is available on Xbox Live and PC. I'm reviewing the PC version, so check it out, guys. Alright, guys, I appreciate you watching this video. What do you think of HyperDot? Does it look fun? Is it more accessible than you'd expected? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, I will see you later.